this is sort of a point where I would maybe take a screenshot of the screen, just because these 4 blocks represent the 4 different reasons we have had a look at with triangles. So that's sort of what we focus mostly on in this course, talking about triangles. These reasons, guys, you're going to use up until matric. So it's really, really important that you know these reasons and that you can work with these reasons. And this is why we've really done a lot of examples and tried to go quite slowly through this, because this section is so important. So the 4 reasons that have to do with triangles that we need to know are as follows. So the first one, and let me just grab a highlighter here. The first one that we need to know is sum of angles in a triangle. So this is this top one up here. We know that whenever we add the angles up inside a triangle, we need to get 180 degrees. So that's the first one we know. The next reason that we spoke about is exterior angles of a triangle. And basically what that is that an exterior or an outside angle of a triangle, which in our diagram here is this angle A, is equal to adding together the 2 opposite interior angles. So angle B plus angle C will give me angle A in that diagram. The third reason we had a look at was then angles opposite equal sides. What this reason says is that if I give you equal sides in a triangle, so basically if you're working with like an isosceles triangle, the angles opposite those equal sides will be equal to each other. Now, those are the 3 reasons we use mostly in terms of triangles. The last reason we chatted about as well, the fact that I could actually give you the equal angles rather, and then you need to know that the sides opposite them, oh, that was weird. The sides opposite them are equal. And that was then the reason sides are equal angles. It doesn't come up as much as the others, but it is important to know. So we have spoken about that, but just bear it in mind. So guys, this is sort of like a little cheat sheet for you in terms of geometry and triangles. So like I said, I would take a screenshot of this because this is what we're now going to use to go through some examples and revise everything that we've been doing. So I'll give you a second to take that screenshot and then I will move on. My words are leaving me today. All righty. Okay, so let us get straight into it. So guys, like I said, all we're doing today is we're revising stuff that we already know. So hopefully nothing too new, but obviously if you are new and some of the stuff is a little bit overwhelming, remember, as Yolanda says, all the videos are recorded online, so you can go and watch them there. Okay, so I'm going to do a couple with you. I'm going to ask you to do some by yourself, but let's start with question 1 together and see how we go. So in this question, what I'm asking you to find is angle M. So this is angle M over here, and I need to find its size. Now, there's many different ways that you can go and do this, and it's completely up to you what you choose to do. As long as you use the correct geometric reasons for your working out, there is no problem doing it slightly differently to how I would do it. Now, what I see here is the fact that this angle of 130 that they've given me is an exterior angle to the triangle. So just so that we're all clear on what that means, my triangle is CDB. And if I extend the one side, so if I extend DB, I'm creating this angle of 130. So that's an exterior angle to my triangle. Now, what I know is that that is equal to the 2 opposite interior angles added together. So I can now start setting up an equation to go and work out what M is. So I know that M plus 80 degrees should be equal to 130 degrees because of exterior angles of a triangle. Now, guys, remember, we always have to give a reason when we're doing geometry. So anytime you make a statement, you have to give a reason. From there, I go and use my inverse operations to solve an equation. So M is equal to 130 minus 80 degrees. And so M is equal to 50 degrees. So for me, that would be the easiest way to do it. You can, of course, go and work out sum of angles in a triangle to get this angle CDB. And then you could use sum of angles in a triangle to go and work out M. So like I say, there's different ways that you can do it, but the most straightforward way to go and find angle M is exterior angle of a triangle. Okay, so hopefully nothing too tricky to start off with. And like I say, if you did it slightly differently, that's okay. As long as you put your reasons down and you're working out as correct, you will get the marks. Okay, I see we have some questions. Shaba, what is your question for us?
Afternoon, ma'am.
Hi.
Ma'am, for this question, is it possible to get angles on a straight line?
So as I've just said, what we can do is we can go and work out angles on a straight line to get this angle over here, and then we can use angles in a triangle to work out M. That's fine.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, cool. Oops. Right. Nomi, what is your question?
Hi, ma'am.
Hi.
Ma'am, I'm wondering why the reason is exterior when the angles are inside.
Okay, so the reason I'm using exterior angles of a triangle is because I know that this 80 plus M has to give me the angle outside the triangle. And because it's the angle outside the triangle, I use exterior angles of a triangle.
Oh, okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Sure. Right, so guys, remember these reasons that I'm using are these ones that I put in the blocks here. So these have all been done in previous lessons. If you're a bit confused, you need to go watch the previous videos. But those are the reasons that we've learned. So they are like characteristics that triangles have that we can then use to go and work out the sizes of angles and sometimes even the lengths of sides and triangles. Okay, so take your screenshot of this one before we move on to the next one. Alrighty. So let's have a see at question 2. I'm going to ask you to try this by yourself. There are 2 angles that I'm asking you to find. I'm asking you to find angle A and angle B. So give it a go. You can pop your answers on the chat if you're feeling comfortable. You're also welcome to raise your hand if you would like to give us your answers. Just remember, guys, give your reasons for all of your statements. And remember that just because you've done it one way doesn't necessarily mean that someone else has done it the same way. So there are different ways we can answer this question, but I'd like you to give a go of finding A and B. Okay, guys, remember those reasons. Got this. Already seen some hands, which is awesome. Okay, I'm going to give everyone another minute or two. Okay, guys, and just remember for geometry, when in doubt, just write everything down. You don't want to lose marks because you haven't put your information down correctly. Put everything down with a reason and you'll be okay. Alrighty, Yolanda, I think we can have a look if we've got some hands.
Yes, we do. Esther, we're coming to you.
Hi, ma'am.
Hi.
So I want to solve for angle B.
Okay.
I said 45 degrees plus B is equal to 125 degrees because of exterior angles.
Good. Well done.
And then I said B is equal to 125 degrees minus 45 degrees,
Yep.
which gave me 80 degrees.
Awesome. Well done. Sorry, I had to do some quick mental maths there. Alrighty, so exactly, guys. B is equal to 80 exterior angles of a triangle. If you found A first, that is absolutely fine. You don't always have to do it in alphabetical order. It's really whatever you see first and you're more comfortable with. If you did find A first, you could have then used a slightly different reason to find B, but we'll chat about that in a second once we have got our answer for A. Okay, who is going to give us A? Oh, gosh.
Nkulumo.
Hi, ma'am.
Hi.
A is A plus 80 plus 45 is equal to 180.
Okay, and what's your reason?
The reason is sum of angles in a triangle.
Good. Well done.
And then A is equal to 180 minus 80 minus 45.
Oh, sorry, I made a mistake. You can keep going.
And then A is equal to 55.
Perfect. Sorry, guys, I forgot to write the equals 180. Right, so A is equal to 180 minus 80 minus 45, exactly. And so A is equal to 55 degrees. Awesome, well done. Also,
Thank you, ma'am.
can I not do maths tonight? It's entirely possible. It is. Oh, sure, my brain. Okay, cool. So we have got A is equal to 55. Now, guys, you don't have to have done sum of angles in a triangle to find A. You could have used as one of the potential reasons. You could have used sum of angles on a straight line. So angles on a straight line to get A plus 125 equals 180. Absolutely fine. You will get it right. You could have also then used sum of angles in a triangle to find B if you knew what A was. So there's quite a few different reasons that you could potentially give to get your answer. And as long as you put the reasons down and you're working out is correct, like I said, the fact that there's lots of different ways to do it isn't a problem. As long as your reasons are written down and you've done your working out, you will get the marks. Alrighty, so if you've got questions, keep your hand up. Otherwise, you can pop your hand down. We do still have more, so there'll be lots of chances for you to answer. But if you've got a question, then leave your hand up and then we can answer some questions. But otherwise, guys, remember, take a screenshot.
Miss, you have a question?
Hi.
Hi.
Okay, so angle A.
Yeah.
So I worked it out as 80 instead of B as 80. So I did the two sums just out of the way around.
Okay. So did you use exterior angle of a triangle for A?
Yes.
Okay, so just remember, and guys, this is really important for everyone to take note of. If we're going to work with an exterior angle, it's always the opposite angles that we then add together. It's never the one next to it. But as long as you've realized that you swapped it, that's okay. So just remember to do it the other way.
Okay. Thank you.
Well done.
Thanks.
Alrighty. So guys, like I said, really important. Sorry, Tseho. Really important that when we do exterior angles, it is the outside one and then the opposite interior ones. We never work with exterior angles of a triangle with the angle next to it. Alrighty. Sorry, Tseho, ask away.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. Hello, ma'am.
Hi.
Ma'am, how do you get the 80
For B?
for A?
For A. A is equal to 55.
Look,
then-
ma'am, okay. It was A plus 80 plus 45.
Oh, okay. So sorry. Right. I'm now on the same page as you. So this 80 over here.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, cool. So for that specific reason, what we were doing is we were working inside the triangle And because we'd already worked out that B was 80, we know that if we add 80 plus 45 plus whatever A is, I need to get 180 degrees. So that 80 is coming from working out angle B. So once I had that answer, I could use it to go and work out angle A.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Pleasure. Alrighty.
Guys, remember to put your questions also on the chat. Lungile, we are all yours.
Hi, ma'am.
Hi.
Ma'am, I just wanted to ask that why did you put 80, the answer 80 in A, question A?
Okay, so like I've just said, we put it in the working out for A because we're using sum of angles in a triangle. And so I have to use my answer for B to go and work out A if I'm going to use sum of angles in a triangle.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, so guys, just remember, listen to each other's questions, listen to my answers, and hopefully we will all be more confident with this at the end. Right, I'm assuming you've all taken your screenshots. I'm moving on to the next one. Right, so here we've got question 3. You're welcome to give it a go by yourselves. Actually, I'm going to give you a minute or two to give it a try. If you don't get it in the time I give you, that's okay. We're going to go through it. Look carefully at the fact that you have got 2 triangles in one there. And so look out for exterior angles of a triangle and sum of angles of a triangle. But give it a go. It is a little bit trickier, but you guys can do this. And like I say, if you don't get all the way, that's absolutely fine. I'm going to go through it with you in another minute or two. So give it a try. Okay, and remember your reasons. Always have to have a reason. And if you're feeling up to it, please put up your hand. We'd like to hear. If you're struggling, that is absolutely fine. We're going to chat through it. Like I say, my hint is look for exterior angles of a triangle, look for sum of angles in a triangle, and you actually have 3 different triangles you can work in there. So try and identify your triangles for yourself. Okay, guys, I'm not seeing any answers or any hands, so I'm going to take it as we are looking at this and thinking, where do I start? So let's go through it together. If you've had a go, that's cool. You can just mark up to where you're at. Otherwise, everyone listen up. It's okay to struggle. This is the whole joy of maths. You have to struggle in order to figure it out. Okay, now you can start with X or Y. It's really up to you. I'm going to start with X just because X comes first, but you can really start with either one. So to find X, I'm going to work in this triangle CDB. So that pink triangle that I've highlighted for ourselves there. Now, the reason I'm saying that is because I can see that X is actually an exterior angle to that triangle. And so what that means is that I can go and find angle X using exterior angles of a triangle, because I know that angle X is equal to the sum or adding together the 2 opposite interior angles, so 68 plus 42 degrees. And that's because of exterior angles of a triangle. I just go and add those 2 up. Oops. So 68 plus 42 is 110. And so X is equal to 110 degrees. Now, guys, this was because, again, I looked at this triangle, CDB, and I saw, okay, cool, X is outside that triangle, so it is an exterior angle to the triangle. And I know that it's specifically an exterior angle for this triangle because it's right next to the triangle, it's attached to it, it comes off of an extension of its arm. So I know that if I add the two opposite interior angles, then I will get angle X. Alrighty, so that's how we get X. It's not the only way to get X, but it's one of the ways to get X. And I think it's probably the most straightforward way to get X. However, if you did it differently, that is absolutely fine. All right, then to get Y, again, lots of different ways we can go and find Y, but the way I see it, you might see it a bit differently, is the fact that Y, and I actually want to get a thicker marker here so that we can see what's potting, is within this triangle ABC, so the big blue triangle. I know that if I add up all of the angles inside this triangle, so the whole of angle A plus the whole of angle B plus the whole of angle C, I will get 180 degrees. So to set up Y, I know that Y plus 36 plus 68 plus 42 degrees must give me 180 degrees. Now, guys, remember the 36, and the 68 comes from angle C. There's two angles there. I have to add them both up because if I'm working in the big triangle, I need both of them. And remember my reason, sum of angles. Oh, sorry. In, triangle. Okay, now I can go and work out what Y is. So Y is equal to 180 minus 36 minus 68 minus 42 degrees. I'm just using my inverse operations there to go and solve for Y. So Y is then equal to 34 degrees. Oops. Now you could have used a slightly smaller triangle if you wanted to. So you could have used this triangle ACD and use sum of angles in a triangle to work out what Y is. There's lots of different ways you can go about doing it. But that is sort of one of the ways that you could go and find X and Y. So guys, what's really important with these types of questions is that you're looking out for the triangles. That's why I kept saying to you, look out for the triangles, see which triangles you have here to work with. Do you have any exterior angles to your triangle? These are all things we need to now start training ourselves to have a look at. But don't worry, it's still sort of new and it's still fresh. It's just something we now have to start looking for. Alrighty, so take your screenshot. If you have any questions, pop it in the chat or raise your hand. Hopefully now that we've gone through it, it's actually not so scary. We just actually have to take a second and have a look. Okay, Tando, I see your hand up. Have you got a question for us?
Ma'am, hello, ma'am.
Hi.
Ma'am, my question is for Y, what got you to think that you must add all of them up? Because it's only in that triangle alone.
Okay, so Tando, just out of interest, did you not work with a big blue triangle? Did you work with this green triangle here? It's beautiful. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. For
Y.
For Y, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
That's absolutely fine. So, and this is like why geometry is sometimes so cool, but also so frustrating. I didn't even see that small triangle when I looked at it. When I looked at it, I saw the big blue triangle. And so in my head, that's what made sense to me. But for you, you saw the small triangle, but your reason is perfectly valid because it's still sum of angles in a triangle. So geometry is just, it really depends on how you see it and what you see, but yours is absolutely fine. You can use that green triangle as well. Yours is actually probably easier.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, so guys, just to reiterate that point, because I think it's really important. Geometry is very much a visual section and is very much, you might see something differently to the way I see it, and that is fine. You might see it differently to the way your teacher sees it, the way your friend sees it, and that's okay. As long as you are using the reasons that you've learned correctly, so you're applying those reasons correctly, there is absolutely no reason for you to go wrong, because as long as your reasons are applied correctly, you will get the answers. So just because I was working in the big blue triangle, so in triangle ABC, doesn't mean that there isn't another way to do it. As we've just discussed, you can use the smaller triangle ACD to work out angle Y. It's really, really up to you and making sure that you're using your reasons correctly. All right. Cool. So yes, indeed, you don't have to stress about brain breaks. I know we need to do them. We all need a little bit of a break halfway through. So let's have a look at our brain break. Oh, guys, we did so well there. Since it's cold outside, I'm tending to agree with you. So a brain chiller. Oh, chiller. Ooh. Okay, for anyone who is new, a brain break, or in this case, what we're going to say is a brain chiller, is basically just a little break from what we're doing. It's a couple minutes, like 2 minutes for you to get up, stretch, run to the loo if you need to run to the loo. I always put up a little brain teaser for you to give a try. If you get it, you get it. If you don't, that's cool, as long as you're trying it. If you're already struggling, don't worry, I will give you a hint. I would start with the third step and then maybe have a look at the second step next. But that's just my clue to you. All right, but guys, get up, stretch, move, make sure that you are ready for the next half an hour when we carry on. Oh, my nose is itchy. And yes, my joke for the day, what do you call a snake that's 3.14 meters long? A python. Oh, I'm already seeing so many hands. Awesome. Linda, should we take some already?
Yeah, Nadia. Nadia, there we go.
Hi.
Ma'am, for the third one, I say 12 plus 12 equals to 24.
Cool. So we are saying the grapes are equal to 12, which I would tend to agree with. So every time I'm seeing a grape, I'm just going to put 12 there. Awesome. Who else? Oh, gosh.
Rona.
Oh, cool.
Rona, you'll have to click on the pop-up that is popping up on your screen. It should be a white box that's pop up. Just click on it and then you can talk to us. Just say okay on it.
Oh, there we go.
Hi, ma'am.
Hi.
I was gonna say the same thing that Nandia said.
Okay, so then tell me, if we know that the grapes are 12, could we work out what the strawberry is? If something times 1 must give me 12. What times
Yes.
1? Yeah, what's a strawberry?
2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12.
12. Awesome. Well done. Okay, so guys, if we know that a strawberry times 1 must give me 12, then that means the strawberry has to be 12 as well, because the only thing that gives me 12 if I'm multiplying it by 1 is 12. So our strawberry is also 12. Well done. Okay, who's going to give us the next one?
I'm looking for Nomi. Nomi, I found you. Nomi, answer please.
What I did, I went to the first one and then I said 4 plus 4 plus 4 equals 12.
Cool. So our pineapples are all 4. Perfect. So we just need to get the watermelon.
Okay, Bontle. We're all yours.
Hi, ma'am.
Hi.
I wanted to say a watermelon equals to 2.
Perfect. Excellent. So guys, our watermelon is 2 because 2 plus 4 is 6, which means that we can now do the very last step of saying the grape plus the strawberry plus the watermelon in order to get our value. So who wants to tell me what that added together is? Panic.
Alinka.
Okay.
Ma'am, the answer is 26.
Awesome.
Well done.
26, because 12 plus 12 is 24 and 24 plus 2 is 26. Well done, guys. See, it looks tricky to start off with, but you just have to take a second and look at everything all together, because sometimes when I do give you ones that look a bit trickier, you just have to maybe start with the step that isn't the first step and then try from there. Alrighty, guys, but well done. It's like started to rain outside. Well done. I hope you've all had a stretch. I hope you're all ready to carry on for the next little bit. Remember, questions in the chat or raise your hand as we go along, but please do ask questions as we go. Alrighty. Okay, so let us have a look at this fourth question that we had going on here. Now we've got 4 angles we want to have a look at here. So I'm going to do this one with you. You're obviously welcome to have a go by yourself, but I am going to talk through it just because there are quite a few angles we need to look at here. And I want to make sure that everyone's on the same page. Again, my reason might look a bit different to your reason, but if you are unsure, pop it on the chat and we can double check or ask. But like I said, sometimes your reasons are different and that is okay. Alrighty, guys, so what I'm going to start with, or the angle I'm going to start with, is angle A. It's alphabetically. Often what we do is, even though I say you don't have to answer the questions alphabetically, often we've labeled it in a way that if you get A, you can get B, you can get C, etc., but you don't have to start with A. In this case, I am, because that's the one I can get sort of quite easily. So I know that A plus 118 degrees must give me 180. The reason for that is because those 2 angles are on a straight line. So they have to add up to 180 degrees. So my reason, angles on straight line. Remember, your reasons also might look a little bit different to mine because you learned them a bit differently. That's okay. As long as you're getting across that it's angles on a straight line, that's all right. So we have A is equal to 180 minus 118 degrees because we're using our inverse operations. And so A is equal to 62 degrees. So now I know that this A up here is 62 degrees. Alrighty. That then means I've got some more information to try and help me work out the other angles. So the next thing I want to notice is the fact that I've been given that 2 sides in this triangle are equal. So those sides that I'm highlighting in green are equal, which means that I'm working with an isosceles triangle. Alternatively, the way we can think about this is we know that the angles opposite sides that are equal to each other. So what I know here is that angle B is equal to angle C because of angles opposite equal sides. Now that's quite important because if I know that both of those angles are the same, then I can go a step further and say, well, I can now use angles in a triangle. Now, if you want to, and it's completely up to you, sometimes people find it easier to make both of these letters the same. So 2 B's, especially when the angles are the same, to set up their equation. You're welcome to do that because you have made the statement that B is the same thing as C. If you don't want to, that's okay. I'm just letting you know that if it is useful to you, you're welcome to do that. So what we now know is that 62 plus angle B, and I'm going to use 2 B's here because it's going to help me get like terms, but it's basically these 2 bottom angles of my triangle. If I add all 3 of those angles up in my triangle, I need to get 180 degrees. My reason, sum of angles in, a triangle. Right, and so now we can start to add our like terms. And this is why I find changing the letters to be the same to be quite useful when it's angles of equal sides, You don't have to. I know that not everyone does it. I just find it useful. So we've got 2b, because b plus b gives me 2b, is equal to 180 minus 62 degrees. So I'm using those inverse operations. 180 minus 62 degrees, we know gives us 118. So 2b is equal to 118 degrees. And then we know that in order to get b, I have to divide both sides by 2. So I want b alone. So dividing both sides by 2 tells me that, oh, it's fine. B is equal to 59 degrees. We have said that B is equal to C, so this also means that C is equal to 59 degrees. Oh, sorry guys. Didn't leave myself enough space. Gone crazy. So 59 and 59. So just to recap there, we saw that angle B and angle C were going to be the same because they're angles opposite equal sides. What I did is I changed the C to a B so that I could collect like terms. You don't have to. I know some of you do it slightly differently, but it's really up to you. As long as you know that B is equal to C because of angles opposite equal sides, then you can go and use angles in a triangle to go and work out what B is. And then finally, we've got angle D. And what we see quite nicely here is that we've got that cross shape that we like to look out for. And so D and B are actually vertically opposite to each other. So angle D is equal to 59 degrees because of vert-op angles. Okay, I've just done D on the side because obviously I did not leave myself enough space. But now we've got angle A, angle B, angle C, and angle D. And this is what I was saying, sorry, this is what I was saying if you were in our lesson on Wednesday, is that the whole point of doing all of this geometry is so that we can now start to combine all of these reasons and use multiple reasons in a question. And so we just need to be comfortable looking at shapes and triangles and vert-op angles in order to get our answers that we want. Alrighty, so make sure you've got a screenshot. I do see some hands. Lungile, do you have a question?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, my question is that I couldn't understand that. Why did you say B and C are the same? I can't understand.
Okay, so I'm just going to take my scribbles off of the diagram here. So basically, if I look at the picture that I have, I can see that this side is equal to this side. Do you agree with that because of these lines on them?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, cool. Now, because of that, I know that the angles opposite them are equal. So I know that this angle B is equal to angle C because of angles opposite equal sides. And so that's why I'm saying that those two angles are equal.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, good. Oops. Shaba, what's your question?
Ma'am,
Yes.
I was just trying to say is it possible if I say this was still looking for my answer, I lost it. If there are
Shaba, I can't quite hear you. Sorry if they are.
ma'am, let's say I say there are, what's this answer? I'm looking for it, ma'am. I lost my answer now.
Okay, so try find it and then you can put your hand up.
Alternate.
No, we
There
don't
are
have
alternate angles.
we don't have any parallel lines here, so we can't use any of the parallel line reasons. Okay,
Thank you, ma'am.
Cool.
Ma'am, what about the angle? Ma'am, what does it mean? The angle.
What angle?
Ma'am, let's say for the reason, I say ASA, angle side angle. What
We're
do
not
they
doing that
mean,
right
ma'am?
now. That's something else entirely. We're just looking at geometry. That's talking about congruency and similarity, and that's sort of like a later topic. So that's not to do with this
Thank you, ma'am.
geometry. Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
cool. Lungile, do you have a question?
Oh, sorry, ma'am.
No problem, don't stress. Okay, guys, so make sure you take a screenshot. I've made it a little bit smaller so that you can get it all at the same time. Okay, if you had slightly different reasons, that's okay. So you could have used exterior angles of a triangle to find B and C. It's really, as long as your reasons make sense in terms of what you've been given, that's okay. Alrighty. So let's have a look at another one. I just want to see what I've got going on here. Let's try question 2 over here. Right, so F and G, I'm going to give you a minute or two to give it a try, and then we'll have a look. Remember all your reasons. Remember, like I've said, look out for things like triangles. Look out for things like where the sides are equal to each other, etc., etc. Oh, I'm already seeing hands. Awesome, guys. Can we give everyone another minute or two and then we can chat? Okay, I think we're ready. Remember those reasons. So if you're going to give me answers, remember to give me reasons. Yolanda, do we have some volunteers?
I see many. Who has an iPhone? To Lorraine. Lorraine, try and give your answer.
Lorraine?
Hi, madam.
Hi.
Hi. I said F is equal to 76.
Awesome. Okay. Oh, sorry, that was weird. Right, so F is equal to 76. I don't have to do any working out there. I know that because this side is equal to this side. So the angles opposite them are equal. So Lorraine, what was your reason?
It was angles on opposite sides are equal.
Good. Angles opposite. Perfect. So do you have G for me as well?
No, madam.
Okay, no problem.
Well done, Lorraine. Kulumo. We are all yours.
Hi, ma'am.
Hi.
G is equal. G plus 76 plus 76.
Good. Is equal to?
180.
And your reason?
is angles in a triangle, sum of
Good.
angles in a triangle.
Good.
And then you say G is equal to 180 minus 76 minus 76.
Good.
And then you say G is equal to 28.
Fantastic. Well done. Awesome. Well done. Alrighty,
Well
guys. So
Yes.
G is 28. We use sum of angles in a triangle. We know that F was 76 because of angles opposite equal sides. And that's that. Well done, guys. Oh, sorry.
Nice, guys. You guys did really, really well. So, guys,